Whoa, this is the wrong screen. Hey guys, welcome to the STPL. We're finally here. I'm running about 10 minutes late, but it's all good. I found we're missing the match 1 replays, so I've messaged the coaches of the teams to see if I can grab them. If I can't, it's not too bad. We've got a great match coming to start anyway, so it's all well and good. We're going to be starting with Red versus Net Wars, so should be kind of cool. Hopefully you're all having a great great Wednesday. I can't even remember what the day it is. Just quickly typing up a good old tweet. And then we can get going. Yeah, it's one of those many things that's kind of cool. Yesterday, of course, I casted kind of off kilter, I guess, because we don't usually. Friday. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Yeah, I get it. That's good. I like it. But yeah, we've got a pretty cool matchup coming in here. Just going to quickly go through the maps we're going to be seeing, and then I'll introduce the teams and the groups and whatnot. So here we go. Starting off, this is going to be the final set from Week 4. There's going to be Colosseum 2 to start us off, Benzene to follow up, Icarus to follow us up from there. Set 4 is going to be on Athena 2. And the ace match, if we do get there, is going to be on Katrina SC. One of my, well, I mean, there's a lot of my favorite maps in here, but let's not go too much into that. We're going to be starting with our Group B match. So MSJ versus Ash did happen. I'm not sure what the score was or where the replays are, so I'm trying to find that out now. Maybe we can get them before the end of the cast, and we can sort of continue on. If not, we may have a little bit of a shorter cast today, but regardless. As you can see, Soul Gaming and Net Wars, 2 of the top teams. If they do not lose, they will be impossible to catch. But the interesting matchup here is we're going to have Red versus Net Wars. So if Red can take down Net Wars here, they are going to pull Net Wars down to the level of IRK 3-1. But depending on obviously how they lose, they won't be able to lose 5 games in a row, so they'll still be second. But Red will be ever so closer to getting that second spot in the group if they can. So let's see if they're going to be able to do it. Obviously, just to quickly announce the teams, Net Wars are on it, or they're absolutely killing it this round. They are the only team other than White Clan to have made it into both sets of playoffs. So it looks like they're going to be making another set this time as well, if their opponents Red cannot stop them right here, right now. There's still 3 weeks of games after this, but every single match is so important in the STPL. And as you can see, Red currently sat 5th in the group. They did really well last round. They did pretty well in the first round as well. Last round was definitely their major breakthrough though. We've got some pretty sick matches coming up today. Just to announce them, we've got Yeti versus BeSt. Now this is the best from Red, it's not the best from White Clan, so it's not the pro gamer. I'm going to fix his name when the new database is all sorted. We're going to have a TVZ between Koga and Cadenzi, as long as there was no sub there. A ZBT between Zero and Cryok. And a PVZ between Mazur and Kunil. Welcome ACWB, hopefully you enjoy the stream. Obviously we're just getting started here, so lots still to come, but we're about to head into game number 1 after we quickly introduce these first couple of players. So for Net Wars, we have the king of the STPL himself. It's Yeti, the only player to have gone undefeated in a round. I think there was someone else, but he didn't play nearly as many games, and that was Bai for White Clan. But Yeti did incredibly well last round, went 7-0. He went 3-0 so far this round. And just pointing out this versus opponent's race stats, so this is going to be a PvP. Yeti is currently 11-2 against Protoss. He is a PvP master. And it's going to be such a hard matchup here for BeSt to come out here in game number 1. I mean, he didn't do very well last round. He lost his 1 game. And he did lose both of his games so far this round. But just to point out the player table, look at the top. Look at the top 10. Yeti, 17-2 overall. like overtaking every other player so far. Koget in third as well, 12 for 4. And then obviously for red, we've got Cryok and Ku in there as well. Ku going to be playing today along with Cryok, so both of them have a chance to move their way up the table just a little bit. But I mean, this is just an insane lineup for Net Wars, an insane lineup for red as well. They've done so incredibly well. And I cannot wait to see how Yeti is going to do against BeSt here as they head into Colosseum 2. Now, BeSt, of course, statistically has everything set against him with this 11 for 2 PvP Master and Yeti, but Yeti has been shown that he can be killed. Obviously he's only lost 2 games and they were against incredibly good players, but kind of cool nonetheless. And I'm not sure if that's Neo or Remo, but welcome, man. Good to see you. Hopefully you enjoy Brood War. But yeah, it's really cool to see you here. It was great meeting you at BlizzCon, by the way. I've really enjoyed your casting, so it's cool that you're actually here checking me out. It's kind of making my heart beat faster. But either way, it's going to be Colosseum 2 here for map number 1. Without further ado, let's get into the game and let's get started with our first match of today. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the teal Protoss fighting for red. It's not Yeti, it's BeSt. And his opponent... his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand position. We do have the green Protoss fighting for Net Wars. It's Yeti. And Rapid, I'm hoping to have him co-cast with me again soon. The trouble is, he is very, very busy. He has like an insane casting schedule. I think he was casting Tekken today, which is kind of insane. Like, he casts absolutely everything. Genuinely, he is one of the most like passionate people I've ever met as well. And it was really, really cool to hang out with him at BlizzCon and everything. So I'm just going to quickly amend the colours just a little bit. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. It's kind of awkward. Green and teal do not work well with my overlay, so we've got both players building a pylon in their main, so no crazy proxies. We see Yeti going for a little bit of a quicker scout, probably a little bit more worried about some kind of cheese. So, I mean, that's kind of a normal thing when you're going into play. You maybe feel confident again, so you want to make sure that you don't die very quickly. Now, Yeti is so safe that he's sending out 2 probes. He does not want to die to any proxies or anything crazy like that. And it's something that really is a kind of a hallmark of a good player, because you'd think that sending an extra worker out early on is going to be a boon to your economy, but you have to be safe. And I mean, he is going for 1 gate into a simulator. He's going to be up against a mirror build here from BeSt, so he's not going to have to worry about 2 gates or anything like that. And Ku, when you say the insane bet, how do you mean? Who made a cool bet on you? Because that's kind of cool. But 7x score going to be coming up for both players. As you can see here, nothing too kind of crazy going on. Yeti sending a second probe back. Now, one thing Yeti has shown us so far in the STPL is just how good he is at keeping his scouting worker alive. I mean, he isn't too afraid of doing a little bit of damage to the probes if he can. Obviously, we should have range coming in for both players shortly after these cores come up, and we should see Dragoons for both players. No early Zealots for Yeti, but BeSt, of course, building one here. That's going to help him chase the probe a little bit. But Yeti's just really good at keeping this alive, so this shouldn't die anytime soon. We're going to have to wait until there's a Dragoon coming out. But the Dragoon's going to be on the same time for both players. BeSt is going to be technically a little bit far behind now. Yes, he did scout for proxies earlier, but is he going to scout for proxies now? Now, he will see that there is no second pylon going up in the main, so he should know something is awry, but he's not obviously going to know where it is. There's no guarantee of where it's going to be on the map or, as well, even. And yeah, teal versus green isn't exactly the most fun. If I press Shift-Tab, they both become yellow, which is kind of awkward. Let's see if I can change Yeah, I can't change allies. That's kind of annoying. If you could change allies, it would be a little bit easier because you could make one of them red. But when you're in replays, you can't do that. When you're observing, you can. So pretty cool. Hopefully, one of the things I mentioned to them at BlizzCon, I met Grant Davies and Matt Sherman, as well as their server guy as well. They're both, well, they're all really, really cool guys. But one of the things I mentioned was trying to make the replay overlay a little bit more similar to the observer overlay. So they said they'd look into it, I think. So it'll be kind of cool to see if that will happen. But it's one of the things that I definitely think will benefit the game. But as you can see, BeSt is kind of not doing too much. Oh my god, this is so good. Yeti finds the proxy immediately, finds the gate, finds the Citadel. There's likely going to be a Templar Archives coming back here, but that is not going to be able to do too much. I mean, obviously, once you've got the Citadel, once you've got the Templar Archives, you can get away with just building the DTs. But obviously, the big problem is the fact that he's going to lose this gateway, he's going to lose that tech structure as well. I mean, this is going to delay Zealot speed. Yeti doesn't want to do anything too crazy. We see him going for a gateway here. He's going for a forge and a robo at the same time. He knows he's going to need to likely get some cannons to at least defend his front, so that's kind of an important moment in this game. BeSt's probe getting a little bit stuck there, but he is going to go to expand behind this, it looks like. One of the map features of Colosseum that you may not know, it's not the most common map these days, is there is this wide ramp going into the natural in your main. Now, looks like BeSt has actually chosen against this. He's going to be going for double TT first. Now, necessarily that isn't a terrible decision, of course. He needs to try and make something happen with this, though, as we do have the observatory cannon coming up in the main as well, and an observer on the way. It's going to be very difficult, but Yeti has been unable to expand himself. Now, that's one of the things that going these DTs does do. It forces a reaction from your opponent. Realistically, BeSt isn't super far behind. He still does have these buildings. If he can power them back up, he's got another production structure over there. But obviously that's going to be very difficult. The first DT is on the way, going to be heading across the map. But I mean, this observer is already going to be out the front, and BeSt is not going to be feeling good about that. But you can see that BeSt is actually going to get his Nexus up first. Yet he still does not have the minerals for it. He's going to build it as soon as he gets 400, I would imagine. But the first DT going down is going to be a massive problem for BeSt. Yeti, of course, did delay his Nexus a little bit to do that, but killing that DT is a huge move. The first observer going to be out, moving out onto the map as well, see exactly what's going on. And now Yeti's going back to kill these structures. He knows he doesn't want to leave them there. He knows he's now safe against any possible DTs. And he should realistically be able to put some pressure on. Now, BeSt is actually going into 4 gateways before Yeti does, so this production is going to kick in a little bit sooner. Of course, we do have Citadel Tech coming in. Templar, possibly going to see some Storm coming out from BeSt first as well. That could be a big decision for him to make. Cat Camera Bell, I've been up for about 20 minutes, so you've not missed too much. This is game number 1. There we go, the Nexus is finished, but can BeSt survive against Yeti's first push here? Yeti is feeling confident. He knows he's got an observer here. He knows, or at least he will do very shortly, that even if there is DTs, they're not going to really do too much. But, I mean, BeSt does have the advantage of having this choke. That's going to be a big moment in the game if he does manage to make his way through there. Yeti transferring his probes down, but it looks like Yeti wants to push in. There's currently no observers for BeSt, so this observer from Yeti going to be able to see everything. But looks like Yeti just playing a little bit safe as he did earlier on, not willing to really lose the observer there, wants to make sure that he doesn't lose anything. But I mean, the robo is just on the way now, and if Yeti does manage to go in and scout this, he should know that he is going to be in a very decent position. Templar Archives is now up for Yeti. It really wouldn't surprise him. Oh man, he's actually going counter DT. This is a very clever move. Necessarily, it's not going to do too much as long as he does get the observatory in time, but Yeti has seen the... Oh, wow. Oh, no, that's his observer. Yeah, he's seen everything. He knows there's nothing there to detect. He knows there's no forge. And he's going to be able to do a decent amount of damage with this. If this gets into the natural, this is going to possibly be GG, but of course the DT's got to run a long way across the map, and as I say that, a shot will pop out. And oh my god, is he actually just going to elevate her into the... Yeah, he's going to elevate her into the natural. This is going to be a huge, huge move. That pylon really taking advantage of that high ground there, not really taking too much damage. But the real problem for BeSt is going to be this shuttle. I mean, this that pylon died immediately as soon as that happened. Yeah, Marco, I know a lot of people don't really know the maps too well, but you can see that there is Dragoons on the high ground. The first observer isn't even out, though, and this shuttle is coming in. It's going to be bringing those DTs in. If they can get into the mineral line, that is going to be a lot of dead probes. The good thing is there is a pylon here to scout for this. Yeti gonna pull back, doesn't want to give away his position too much. We should see a little bit of a reaction there from Yeti, or from BeSt even. And there is an observer here now, so the timing window for Yeti to do the damage he realistically wants to do is actually kind of stopped now, but he's going to go back into the same location with the shuttle, being a little bit tricky now. The Dragoons are at the front as well. They could possibly look to try and bust their way through while a lot of the units are in the wrong place, but here we go. Does BeSt see this? He sees it with his observer. What is the reaction like? He's going to pull in. How many probes can these DTs get before the DTs die? That's a lot of probes already, at least 5 I believe. 4 on this guy, 6 or 5, 6, 7, 8 probes. That is a huge amount of damage early game. We're actually going to see a DT and Zealot drop coming out from BeSt now to try and counter what's going on here. But Yeti senses that something's not right. He's pulling his units back, and he's going to go for the defense himself. He's actually gone up to 5 gateways now. No additional third nexus for him yet. A little bit risky to take that in a PvP. But we've got a forge coming in as well by BeSt to try and keep this alive. There's actually 6 gateways for him. And Yeti, I mean, BeSt is doing a really good job against Yeti here. This is probably the closest I've seen Yeti in a PvP, sort of in the early game. Yeti usually goes to dominate. Oh my god, this is going to be a huge, huge moment there. The Dragoons are in position. The pull back on the shuttle, really, really nice. Going to keep that alive for the time being. But this DT round the back, possibly just to deny that expansion. I mean, does he have shuttle speed coming in? Looks like he doesn't. He doesn't have a support bay, of course, so that wouldn't make any sense. But there we go. High Templar now coming in for Yeti. Now up to 6 gates himself, going up to 7 gateways. And we're going to see a Nexus come down here, but it's actually blocked by this DT right now. So Yeti's going to pull likely his entire army with an observer over there to deal with it. But Yeti once again going in for another drop. The drop of BeSt being a little bit more idle, but that is going to try and go in again. But there is some cannons here already, so this drop isn't realistically going to do too much. The DT has been cleaned up, and we're going to kind of enter a little bit more of a stable phase in the game. Storm should be on the way for both players if it's not already finished. And I completely forgot what the Templar Archives is. Here we go. It looks like the drop is coming in to the bottom. One thing to note is this map has these cliffs up here which you cannot see without high ground vision. And there we go. 3 Zealots actually dropping off. How much damage can they do? There is a cannon here already. But Zealots do a lot of damage to cannons. But apparently cannons do a lot of damage to Zealots as well. The probe drill has actually been really good as well. This is going to be 3 Zealots for the cost of nothing. For Yeti, so that's a really good trade, but you can see by the supplies, BeSt is actually almost caught up. Yeti looks like he wants to try and push forward, but he's thinking better of it, but that was a diversion. He pulls the units away from the back, and he's going to try and go in here with a DT and 3 Zealots, but he's going to be running into double cannons. Oh my god, the shuttle's going to go down. One of the Zealots goes down before it can even get out of the shuttle, and poor Yeti is just throwing away units here against BeSt. So it's going to be a relatively bad trade for both players. But there's actually no observer up here, so this DT is... Oh, the DT actually goes down trying to kill the Dragoons. Yeti obviously trying to take down this forge is not going to be able to find the damage he needs. And it looks like Yeti is actually planning to try and take another base. He's actually got his units in a really weird location. I think he's kind of split off his control groups in a little bit of a weird way. But yeah, that DT went down... Oh yeah, that DT is still alive. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't notice that, Radley. But there we go, that DT just trying to do what I can. Funnily enough, there is only Zealots here to actually deal with this. They are going to be able to kill it, but one of them should... Ooh, that's a strong Zealot right there. We should have +1 attack coming in here for him soon. +1 attack, just a slight bit ahead of BeSt, despite the fact Yeti got his forge a lot earlier. And we see both of them going into the third bases. Yeti now is actually the one with the advantage coming into this, which is a pretty good deal, given the fact he can get his mining up a lot quicker. Of course, he did kill... Oh my god, sorry, I just missed a storm drop. Looks like Yeti did save a good number of the probes, but not enough. I can't believe I didn't see that. Teal versus green should be banned. It's really, really hard to keep an eye on the minimap. All the dots look the same. But there we go. It looks like the Zealot's going to be moving in with the main army of Yeti to try and cancel this Nexus, try and delay the expansion as much as humanly possible. We've actually got a lot of damage done to both players, so it's going to come down to this engagement very possibly. A lot of the units are actually on the low ground. Good storms by BeSt. Yeti's army is actually dying very, very quickly. There's no storms by Yeti right now. I don't know if he forgot storm, but he's not able to do anything, and he loses the vast majority of his units. But still, it looks like we've had a drop coming in here. Another... Oh, I think this was a storm drop by him doing a lot of damage. A lot of the probes actually being pulled back here. And once again, teal versus green has killed me. And killed my ability to observe the game, but it's all well and good. We know it happened. Yeti still with a supply lead. Moving forward, obviously, we do have an observer here, but unfortunately it does just about see the shuttles, so that's good observer positioning actually. And it looks like Yeti is just trying to do what he can to just stop any additional units trying to move around. Just keep an eye on exactly what's going on as well. Now back at home we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gateways still for Yeti. Looks like BeSt is on 7 as well, so things are kind of very even. I mean, if we were to look at just the probe saturation, fairly good saturation on the third, could do with a few more. Good saturation on the natural, good saturation on the main as well. Yeti, good saturation in his main. You can see the saturation's been a little bit better because he have more probes in his main for a little bit longer because he's mining out a little bit quicker. But it's going to be double forge coming in from Yeti now. The natural still looking healthy, the third base looking healthy as well, and now it's Yeti's time to try and expand again. Neither player has really got a massive army right now. They're kind of just building up from the very beginning. We still do not see a robotic support bay from either player, so that's kind of a big omittance from both of them here. No Reavers or anything like that coming in this game, which wouldn't be a bad choice against all of the cannons and things like that, but looks like Yeti is just trying to solidify his position. He's sitting out on the middle of the map, kind of scouting around to make sure he doesn't lose anything. An observer is going to scout that there's a probe down here, so he should realistically be sending units down. Looks like he's actually going to send a shuttle over here with double High Templar. Now he does need to be careful. This is a lot of cannons, and this is a very low health shuttle. How much damage is this going to be able to do? Is it going to be able to do any damage? Oh my god, it's flying straight into 5 cannons. That goes down immediately, and that's a big, big win for BeSt, who now, for the first time this game, takes a supply lead over Yeti. And we are slowly but surely getting into a really epic PvP here. We've got a lot of Archons. Just in case anyone's watching, like, I know Neo doesn't watch too much Brood War from what I understand, but he is a fan. The way you can tell what team the Archons are is by the... I didn't even know this until just recently, but the swirling colours around them. Obviously these are green Archons, these are teal Archons. Here we go, this is going to be a big, big engagement in the middle of the map. How are the storms going to be? Looks like it's a relatively good storm there by Yeti, but one of his High Templar going to go down. He needs a storm again. He gets another good storm. This is actually a fairly big engagement. It's kind of hard to tell exactly how this is going. It's Archon versus Archon, but good storms by Yeti on all of the Dragoons, doing so much damage. I cannot tell what's going on. There's so much green, so much teal, but it looks like Yeti's pushing through. And once again, Yeti gets the better of an engagement, taking a 30 supply lead now. I mean, there is an Archon going up here, but that's going to go down to just cannons. The probes moving down here to help as well. But Yeti is going to be unable to push forward himself. Looks like there's another small contingent of units going to this fourth base. There's not actually any defense. There's only a single cannon here at the moment. These Zealots are going to be doing a lot of damage to these probes. +1 attack has finally been researched for him. Looks like Yeti going to try and move in with some units to defend, but is he going to be able to save the Nexus? The probes have mostly been transferred away. Yeah, this Nexus is forfeit. That fourth base is down, but we see the fourth base of Yeti was BeSt was actually cancelled a while ago as well. And we've kind of seen both players resetting, but the trouble is this is a lot of BeSt's army that is going to be going down. I mean, some of the Zealots do manage to run away, but they're going to be running into storms. Oh my god, he's actually storming a lot of his own units. That's a pretty big deal. And I mean, those storms did take out a few of the Zealots, but was it really worth it? I'm not too sure, but another fourth base starting up immediately by Yeti. BeSt still unable to take another fourth base. And this is where we're going to start to see a little bit of a problem for BeSt. He doesn't have the world's biggest army. His composition isn't going to be all that good. He spent a lot of minerals early on, a lot of gas on a lot of Dragoons that did go down. It didn't really pay off for him. And now we do have a big army from Yeti spawning or spanning multiple screens. This is one of the things I really do love about Brood War. When you start getting higher supplies, it makes it really difficult to see everything. Of course, Remaster did have the ability to zoom right out, but then just imagine watching the watching that battle with that zoom. It'd be nearly impossible. But I mean, this is still kind of back and forth. Yeti is now once again fallen behind supply of BeSt. BeSt actually added on an additional 2 gateways to try and make that happen. I mean, that does mean it's going to be a little bit harder for him to expand, but he is still going to need to try and do some damage. Yeti actually double expanding now to try and make use of the fact he's defended that top right-hand quadrant. And Yeti is mining out of his natural. His third is really healthy, but the trouble is BeSt has mined out of his natural. He's mined out of his main. He is down to 1 base, and that is some massive, massive oversaturation. Yeti once again clearing any units going over. Looks like we did see some Zealots try to go to that top right corner, but Yeti knows that's all he needs to do. He actually managed to get a cancel on that Nexus, so that's a big move. But Yeti is not hedging his bets. He's actually got another Nexus here already, and this is more units that unfortunately BeSt is just going to be throwing away without really doing all that much. He needs to secure another base. That is his next move. Looks like they got a little bit of lag unpaused, so they did unpause there. But it's all well and good. Hopefully that did sort the lag. But Yeti's still doing a really good job moving his army around, controlling space. He's even got 4 Archons and 3 Zealots here defending against any possible aggression, but could this be a little bit of an anti-timing? BeSt moving on out. He's got +2 attack, but Yeti does have the upgrade advantage with 2-1. He obviously did get that second forge, does have to get armor. We should have +3 attack nearly finishing up for him, +2 armor as well. +3 attack is almost done for BeSt, but this armor is going to be worth a lot of money here, because that's going to be a lot of extra hits that his units are going to need to take. It looks like another Zealot tried to come in to do some damage to this Nexus, but BeSt is moving forward. He's actually moving forward before his +3 attack is finished. And could this be the big mistake? I mean, obviously +3 attack is going to finish relatively soon for both players. One of the Archons does go down. Cannot tell what is going on whatsoever right now, but good storms by both players. Zooming out just a little bit to see if we can get it on. You can see there's a lot more Archons here for Yeti even. The storms on the Dragoons have been absolutely incredible, but it's mainly Archons versus Archons right now. And BeSt is doing a really good job. Both of their armies trading so closely. And that's actually a big deal. It looks like Yeti has got the best of that engagement, pun intended. But BeSt is still trading really well, using those 2 Dragoons to get an extra 2 kills. But that 3-2 upgrade has finished against the 3-0 of BeSt. The trouble is, BeSt is running on empty. He doesn't have a 4th Nexus. Meanwhile, Yeti has secured an additional 2 bases, but this is the movement BeSt is going to try and pounce on. He has the supply advantage for the time being. He's going to use his army to try and move forward, actually dodging the storm in the weirdest way possible there. But Yeti doesn't actually have that many units. He's got a few up here to defend, but if BeSt can go in with a decent composition, this is going to be a really important moment. Can BeSt deny these bases? A good storm by Yeti on top of those Archons. Archons obviously with a lot of health in shields, so the storm doesn't do all that much to them. But he's breaking up the ramp. There is a couple of cannons up here. That's going to help do some damage. but there's more units coming across here. The Dragoons going in on the cannons. Really hard to kind of keep up with what's going on, but looks like the Archon's going to be moving back to try and deal with these Zealots. And it looks like BeSt has actually managed to break his way through. That's a really, really impressive maneuver, bouncing on the fact that he knew there was an even trade. He didn't see any units coming out of Yeti's base again, but are these units forfeit? BeSt cannot afford another Nexus at the moment. He has killed the 4th base of Yeti. Now Yeti is about to mine out of his 3rd base, so he is going to be back down to 1 base as well. But of course the advantage still does go to Yeti. Another crazy engagement of Zealot versus Archon. I have no idea who's Zealot to who's. A good storm on the Dragoons once again, but it looks like BeSt has pushed Yeti back again. And is this going to be enough to kill the 4th base of Yeti? Can BeSt take the game with this maneuver? This is a lot of cannons, a lot of probes blocking the ramp as well. He needs to hold on here. This is the lifeblood of his economy. And can he break through? Can he do what only 2 other people in the entire STPL have done and take down Yeti in a PvP? It looks like he's broken the 4th. There's so few units coming in here to defend. I don't know if he can hold on here. There's another 3 Archons. They're going to be worth their weight in gold. Is this going to work out? It's so hard to tell, but the units of BeSt have finally gone down. And Yeti holds onto his 4th base for now. And is BeSt even able to afford another expansion? Not right now, but he's got enough minerals still. And it looks like BeSt is going to change his tactic. He's going to move to clear out the bottom left. The units up here have finally been cleaned up. Yeti going to be transferring some more units up here to defend. But BeSt is still not out of this. The supplies are insanely even right now. And anything could happen. BeSt needs to secure another base though. These minerals are what are keeping Yeti with the ability to keep rebuilding his army so often. BeSt is badly running out of minerals. He's actually only got like I'd say about 1/5 of the base left. So he does need to secure a Nexus. He can't really afford a Nexus right now either. And Yeti is slowly but surely building up his units. Thank you very much, Diceland, or Dicelander, and the last person to follow as well. I do apologize I didn't miss your message. I need a second monitor that I can see a little bit easier, because my second monitor is my TV off to the left. But either way, we'll get there eventually. Production will improve as the STPL goes on. Working on a big new database, but here we go, another big engagement in the middle. Looks like BeSt wants to try and get the best of this engagement if he can. A huge storm on top of the Archons. I think there's too much stuff here from Yeti this time. The Archon count by Yeti is extremely high, and GG! Unable to take a 4th base. Unable to take that final engagement. BeSt has no choice but to tap out to give Yeti yet another win in the STPL. So obviously that was an insane PvP to start us off. I think that was about 30 minutes. Really cool game from both players. BeSt was so close to winning that. But Yeti once again proving why he's rank 1 in the STPL, winning yet another game, taking himself up to 18 for 2, I think it is. I'm going to check that after this, but just quickly reporting the match win for him. And let me check the player table. Yeah, so he's 18 for 2. He's now 12 for 2 in PvP. Is there any Protoss that can stop him? Okay. Right, so we've got at least 4 more games, so we're going to be heading into game number 2 in a short minute, which is going to be Cadenti versus Kogut, so that should be another really cool game. Obviously Cadenti, one of the only other UK players there are who did move out to Korea to compete and also stream, so that should be really cool. She's been doing really well recently. Kogut, obviously one of the best players outside of Korea as well. So we'll be back in just a minute with more